¿Qué pasa, mi raza? If you're a listener or watching, you're now tuned into I Don't Know That's Perfect. I am your host, I am Mario from the South Side. Y hoy lo vamos a hacer un poquito diferente. Vamos a empezar todo el episodio en español. Y nada, para hacerlo un poquito más divertido, tengo una persona que está sentada aquí conmigo, se llama Amoraa.
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
Hey, hola, ¿cómo estamos?
And so, as much as we would love to do an all Spanish podcast, I feel like we'd be going a little too hard on ourselves at that
we'd
point.
be struggling
so
a little
just
bit.
a little teaser for y'all, yeah. But it's a pleasure to have you. It's a pleasure to finally meet you. I know we've talked a lot online, just via DMs and just talking over, like, planning this for the longest,
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're finally able to do it. And thank you so much for coming out. Like, I was just telling, we had the last guest, Angel Sin Tron, and I was telling you, I was like, I'm sorry that I'm having y'all come out here, but I appreciate y'all for coming out here because I know it's kind of like a sketchy area. You're coming to like some random guy you met online on his hotel, and I was like, man, it sounds really, really sketchy. Thankfully, I'm not a creep. I'm not telling you,
you're good.
Thank you so much for coming out here.
Yeah, thank y'all so much for having me. Like,
Yeah.
I love doing podcasts.
Okay.
I really do. I really, really do.
Just for those that are watching, listening, give a little background on yourself and just introduce yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Amoraa J. I am a singer-songwriter, and I'm currently located in LA. I'm signed to Trejo's Music. If y'all know Danny Trejo, he's an actor. I'm signed under his label. A lot of people don't know that he has a label. But I'm one of his singers, and I do a lot of like soldies. I'm trying to transition over to R&B. And that's a little about myself.
Okay. And where did this the music journey begin for you? Like, at what point did you feel like you had a knack for like just being involved in music and had a love for it?
Yeah. So ever since I was a little girl, I loved singing, right? And so, like, my mom would tell me, oh, like, you sing good, you have a voice. But, all moms say that. So I was like, I don't know. But then I started singing, like, for my friends, like, around elementary and middle school. And they were like, wow, like, you actually have a decent voice, And so, I just liked doing covers. I never really took it seriously up until I graduated college.
Okay.
And I didn't even major
Nothing music related?
Nothing music related. I was supposed to be a reporter, which is like a little different. But I always knew that I wanted to be in the entertainment field. I just, I was a little confused at the time. But yeah, it wasn't until like after I graduated, I was like, you know what? I'm going to move to LA and I'm going to pursue singing.
Yeah.
And so,
it has been working out really well for you, though.
Yeah,
so far.
thankfully.
So,
it has been.
It might be a little intimidating. I was just talking to Angel, the same thing. A little intimidating moving to like a big city and like taking charge on this dream, and for it to be working out the way that you want it to, it must be reassuring,
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm very thankful, honestly, to be, doing what I want to be doing, because even just moving to LA by myself was such a huge risk.
Yeah.
But knowing that I'm actually doing it as like a full-time, like career, like that's more than a blessing, I'm just,
That's awesome.
I'm so thankful.
And so you were born in LA, right?
Yeah.
But then you were telling us briefly a while ago that you lived in Dallas for a majority of your childhood.
Yeah.
How was that transition? Because you went from LA to Dallas or Texas and then back to LA.
Yeah, to be honest, the transition was very hard for me.
Yeah.
Just because LA and Dallas are like so different.
Yeah.
They're so different. And so, like, leaving behind all my friends was really hard for me. And I remember crying to my mom, like, no, we have to go back. Like, why'd you make us come down here? Yeah. And actually, like, the first few months that I moved to Texas, I had the biggest mosquito bites on my legs.
They're all over you.
Oh, my God.
Damn, yes.
That was, like, the worst for me. That was the worst. And that was, like, we got to go. We got to go.
Go back.
But, yeah, I started, like, adapting, and I made friends and, like, lifelong friends that I still talk to today. Yeah. And I ended up really loving it. And so I'm thankful for the experience. I feel like it helped me, like, adapt to different
Did you have to, like, relearn everything that you kind of left behind in LA when you moved back? Because I know, like, you were at San Marcos, so, like, it's such a culture difference. Like, it is very Hispanic in both ends, but it's, like, two different styles.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, it's cool, but it's, like, it's so different.
It's so different. So, like, in Texas, Tejano, right? And then here in Cali, it's Chicano.
Yeah.
And I feel like I lost a lot of the culture, but you know, being with Danny and going to different shows in LA has helped me like really
bring it back to life.
Yeah, bring it back to life
Yeah.
and really like, okay, like this is what I missed out on. And I feel like I've been learning a lot, you know, about both cultures, but it's just so cool and it's so different, but so like the same at the same time.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It's like different sub genres of the same.
Yeah.
So that's been my most interesting take out of this whole visit, because like I said, this is my first time in LA. And I was talking to Troy about it the other day. We were at the park, and I was like, no, it's really cool to be out here, and like you feel like at place because you're surrounded by nothing by Hispanics, you know, people of color. Back in Austin, it's a really white city, so like I want to do regular stuffs, and like there's always like just surrounded by white people. You know, I'm not saying that they're all the same, but like a lot of times I feel like I'm sticking out, or I feel like I'm being like they're looking at me like, what is he doing here? You know?
Yeah.
But it feels very at home here. I do enjoy that.
Yeah, no, LA is definitely like la raza. Like,
all the
you know,
way.
it's like you go outside and you see like an elotero, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just so like there's so many Hispanics here, so many Mexicans, you know, people from like different countries, you know.
It's very diverse.
It's very diverse, yeah. But yeah, it's definitely a really, really cool city.
Yeah,
I love being
we'll
here.
definitely be back. You know, we'll just have to like financially prepare a little bit better, because it is pretty expensive out here.
It is expensive.
I was like, damn, it's hard to catch a good buzz without dropping a good amount of money. You know.
Yeah.
So. But how did your relationship with Danny Trejo begin? How did that happen?
Yeah, so that's like my number one question. So when I first got here, I had a job, or I got a job, which was like my very first job ever. And I was working at UEI College, and I was front desk.
Okay.
And so, you know, people would come up to me, you know, ask me questions and stuff. And so I was getting to know a lot of people.
Okay.
And there was this older man, and his name is Mike Valdez, that I still talk to today. He's like a background actor, and he found out that I could sing. Like he saw one of my videos, and he was like, wow, Mija, like I'm going to plug you in. And I was like, okay. Like, you know, you hear that all the time. I didn't think anything of it. Like, and so then one day I get a phone call, and he's like, hey, Mija, like I'm here with Danny Trejo.
Oh, shit.
And I'm like, what? Like random. And this was during like quarantine, right?
Oh, okay.
And so I'm like hyped. I'm like, what? You're with Danny Trejo? Like what?
Just chilling with him?
Yeah. And so he was like at a video shoot.
Okay.
And so he showed Danny one of my singing videos. And Danny was like, wow, like, you know, I actually really like her voice.
Yeah.
And so he like talked to me on my friend Mike's phone, and he was like, hey, like I'm going to give you my personal number, hit me up, and, you know, we can get to talking about maybe getting you signed.
Oh, wow. How was that feeling? Like hearing that and just, you know.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was such a like exhilarating and like shocking, like nerve-wracking, but also very exciting and happy feeling.
Must have been very reassuring too, you know.
Yeah, and it was assuring most of all, I feel like, because it's like, wow, if somebody to that caliber takes interest, you know, in somebody like me and sees the potential in me, like that was more assuring than anything. And so,
it just shows that you're in the right path. That you're doing something right, you know. And it's working out really well.
Yeah, I think it was like confirmation for me, like in that moment. And so, yeah, ever since then, you know, we started talking more and more. And every holiday I would hit him up like, hey, Danny, don't forget about me. Because it was during COVID, so I couldn't really see him, you know. And so fast forward to a year later, he's like, hey, come meet me at the Cantina, because he has a restaurant down here.
Okay.
Next time I need to take y'all.
I think we went, right? We went to
you guys went?
Yeah, it's by Hollywood, right?
Yeah,
it's
on Hollywood?
We went. That's like one of the first places we stopped, because I saw his logo, and I was like, oh, shit. Let's go try it out. Let's go have some margaritas. And it was a really cool vibe. It's a cool place.
Yeah, so it's actually like historic, because they film a lot of movies there.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, you always see somebody around there. But yeah, so I met him there, and at the same time I was meeting Baby Bash.
Okay.
And so that was like very intimidating for me, because it was like not only like Danny but like Bash. And I'm like, whoa, like what's going on? And then I also met like other producers, Carlos Guillen, who's somebody that I'm working with currently. Yeah, so it was like it was a lot. It was a lot going on, but you know, I went there and I was like, I'm just going to be myself, and if he likes my voice, then he likes it. If he doesn't, it doesn't. But he ended up loving it. And, he was like, let's get you signed. And ever since then, I've been, working with him.
That's awesome. How immediately after did y'all like start working? Like just were you like immediately already like?
Yeah, immediately. Like he was like, right after we met, he was like calling me every day, and he's like, "All right, like start, sending me some covers. We're gonna start to like write you something. We're gonna get you in the studio." And so immediately he sent me a demo.
Okay.
Of a song that he wanted me to learn, and I was on it. I was like, "All right, I'm gonna get this down. Whenever you need it, I got it." And so I got it down within like a day or two, and I was like, "Danny, whenever you want me to record it, I got you. I'm done." And so it took like a week, and then he got me in the studio, and I started recording. And
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Sounds like it was a lot that happened like just so quick after like waiting through like quarantine and whatnot. So that's really cool. What would you say are like a lot of your influences? Because you say that you're like very into like slow, soulful music and oldies and stuff like that you kind of are in right now. But before that, what were your hugest influence that would kind of like depict how you would sing?
I have so many.
Yeah.
I just love music, and I feel like I have a pretty like extensive like knowledge of different genres. But I grew up with like mariachis, right? So I grew up with like Luis Miguel, Juan Gabriel, like the classics, and then also like los bukis. So there's like
okay, so we're taking it back like that.
Yeah, we're taking it back like that
to the mullets and all that.
To the bullets,
original Mexican
and so so I listened to a lot of that growing up, but I also listened to like a lot of like Bob Marley reggae stuff because my mom is more into like that stuff.
Okay.
So it was like a fusion of that.
Yeah, a little taste of everything.
Yeah, and then very early on, like I had like a fascination with R&B music, right? So I was very fascinated with like 90s growing up and also 2000s.
Okay, like the real R&B.
Yeah. So like when I heard like Usher, Sierra, like all of them, like during that time, I was just so fascinated. I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to make music like this.
Is that when you started doing covers, or when was that at?
Yeah, I started doing covers like middle school, I want to say, but I would sing a lot of like what are those called, like lullabies and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when I was like
the children's
way younger.
songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then what is one of your favorite covers that you've done that you like, if you were to like to show anybody that's like meeting you for the first time, was like, this is the cover that I want to choose to like depict my vocal range and how amazing of a singer I am?
Probably Killing Me Softly by the Fugees.
Okay.
With Lauryn Hill.
I don't think we've heard that one. We're going to have a quick jam session before you leave today. Man, I wish we were able to set up a music for you to sing so that way we could show up Naomi.
Next time I go down to Austin, I'll come visit.
We'll make a way better background and you'll have a better situation.
Yeah, no, we're working with what we got here. So it's a little
traveling.
Different.
Yeah, we're out of a suitcase right now, so it's one of those moments.
But we're making it happen. Look at y'all.
Yeah, we sure are. What are, just for people like me and Troy and people that have never really been to LA, what are some of your favorite spots here that you would like recommend?
In LA?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so the thing is, I didn't really get an experience when I first moved down here because I moved down here like late August, right? So then I was like settling in and then COVID hit.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, but what's it called? I've been like exploring more now that like things are open. Yeah, I'm getting the hang of it. But places that I would recommend if we're like talking like rooftop, Beauty in Essex, super dope. I went there for my birthday last year and just casually, Wiz Khalifa was there.
Just chilling
Just chilling.
Oh, damn.
But it's definitely a vibe. If y'all want to go, definitely go like during like a weekday, I would say. Like that's when like people are just out there like vibing and stuff. Also like the Perch, which is like another rooftop in Burbank. They have the Castaway. Such a vibe. These are all like rooftops. Yeah. So you could do like brunch or dinner.
Okay.
Or
like
even
a
get
lot
drinks.
Downtown LA vibes.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
Okay. Or I'm sorry, it's called the Highlight Room. So Beauty in Essex is a restaurant. The Highlight Room is the rooftop. Yeah.
We went to one. Do you remember what the one that we went to was called? I forget, the rooftop bar. It was like the one with the what's the bird that carries babies that delivers the baby?
Oh, I know. You're Cane? No.
I forget. Yeah,
I forget. It starts with a C, I think.
I think so.
Right?
Like I don't want to even say the wrong thing. I'm gonna get butchered by
I'm like butchering it.
But it was a cool little place. Like we were just roaming around Hollywood and just checking out whatever, like walking to whatever we saw, and it was a nice vibe. Like definitely love the weather out here. Like it's really really
When
nice.
are y'all leaving?
We leave tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing tonight? Okay, well that's a side conversation, but we'll discuss.
Yeah. What have been some of your favorite venues that you have here then that you've performed at?
Oof. So we've done a lot of small shows, but like the bigger shows we did at the Fox Theater.
Okay, I think I've seen the name. I don't know where.
Yeah,
exactly
that's like in Ontario though. It's pretty far from here, but that was like such a dope venue because it was like one of those like arenas.
Yeah.
So that was like a really cool experience. And then we also did the Fresno Fair a couple weeks ago, which was cool because we like performed at a fair, you know, kind of like the Dallas Fair.
Okay.
You know, so it was like a cool experience. Those off of the top of my head were like the biggest, coolest ones for me.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's something that I wanted to do. Maybe next time is like catch a show at one of the venues here.
Yeah.
So like definitely next time if you have a show, we'll definitely have to come check it out.
Yes.
I've yet to see you live, and I can only imagine how good it must be.
Yeah, no, I want y'all to like come and see a show and vibe out.
Did you get to do any performance or any work when you were in Texas before you came out here?
No. Actually.
Oh, no, it was just straight over here. Because,
started? Right after I graduated. Well, actually, okay. So I guess if you consider like a talent show, kind of like a show, right? Yeah, so I did like a performance at Texas State for the talent show, which was like a pretty big...
Did you win?
No, I didn't.
It's all right. It's all right.
But it was a cool experience. You know, I got to do it twice. Actually, I didn't win either time.
Oh, it's all right. Was those your first time like performing in front of like a live audience and stuff like that?
Yeah.
How was that?
That was honestly for me. Like I get really nervous prior to being on stage. So like I get very anxious and nervous right before I'm about to go on stage. But once I get on stage and the mic is in my hand, it literally just
easy.
It just goes away. Yeah. It's weird. It's weird. But yeah, that's kind of like what the feeling I got from.
Yeah. So then you started doing all the other shows here. How was that? How was the feedback over here? Because I know like it must have been like, I know you got to do like the talent shows and whatnot, but I think it's still a different crowd out here.
Yeah.
How was that?
It's cool. I feel like the crowds majority of the time have been reacting really good. I've gotten like pretty good feedback from them. There's been like one or two times where I feel like I did bad, like it was like a me thing, and it kind of just felt like everybody else like around me kind of felt the vibe. I don't know. Maybe it was just me.
You're probably just being hard on yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I get in my head, but yeah, for the majority of the time, I feel like I've been getting pretty good feedback. But speaking of you know performing outside of California, we are talking about doing a tour in Texas. So
really? When is this?
We might come to
Can you say? That'll be exciting. We'll have to set up a follow-up interview then just to like have it over there then.
Yeah.
But when's that happening? Can you talk much about it?
So I don't have details, but I know that we want to hit Dallas, Houston, I think maybe Austin, San Antonio. Yeah. And those are like the big ones that they're talking about right now.
Who would all be on the lineup?
So it'd be me, Tara New, which is the other artist that Danny has, Coda the Barber, who is also another artist that he just signed. I don't know if Bash would be on it, but maybe Trish Toledo too. So it's like a few of us being on the tour.
It's all under Danny Trejo's wing. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to work a lot with Baby Bash then?
I've seen him multiple times, but I haven't been in the studio creating with him.
Yeah. I can only imagine that must be like a pretty interesting experience because just seeing how far back his music goes and seeing him from when he was doing like SPM as Baby Beach and then Sugar, like his range is insane.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. And it's like he's also a legend, you know. It's like he was such a he's like a Hispanic R&B artist, right? You know. Yeah, so he was like one of like the first ones coming out in the scene and I think it's really cool working with him and he's such a dope guy.
Yeah,
he's such a dope guy too.
Yeah. I know you've had a couple singles that you dropped. You had the most recent was "You Make Love and Fun," right?
Yeah.
And then you had "Vacation," which I like that one personally.
Thank you.
Do you have any upcoming projects like EPs or an album that you're working on
Yeah,
currently that you can't talk about?
Yeah, I can't talk about it. So, we are actually working on an album individually. So I will have an album, and the other two artists are gonna have their own album. But I'm very excited for this because I've never put out an album before or an EP or anything close to that, you know. So it's gonna be my first baby, and doing it under Danny is such a big deal.
Yeah.
And I just want to put out music that I feel like resonates with a lot of people, and I hope that everybody vibes out and enjoys it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned that you were kind of wanting to transition from soulful to like R&B. What is that looking like for you? Like when you say that, what do you picture?
So right now I am focusing on soldies, just because like that's kind of what I signed up for when I signed for the label.
Okay.
And I want to respect that. And I know Danny ultimately wants me to put out like songs that he listens to too. Because Danny's very like old school, right?
Yeah,
so he likes a lot of like 50s, 60s, oldies. Yeah. And so right now we're focusing on that. He did mention me maybe putting R&B in it also, like a couple of songs in the album that are more like R&B styled. Yeah, so I think that would be cool to do a little, something different, I feel like. But
no, that'll be fun. You guys also have, I think I saw you had a compilation album with everybody, right? How was that? Like, how is it working with your label mates?
Yeah, like everybody gets along with everyone, and I'm not just saying that, but like, yeah, we all just vibe out. Like having music with them and like creating music with them has been such a cool, dope experience. I feel like we all get a taste of us, right?
Yeah.
Like we all sprinkle a little bit of us personally into our music. But yeah, I was like on the album, Trejo's Music Soul Collection, Volume 1, which is, that's where I had the song This May Be.
Yeah.
Which was my first song. That's the song that I'm talking about.
The first one that you like came out under him?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that I told you that I learned in like a day. It was that one.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, it was that one. But yeah, it's a cool experience. I love working with everyone. I feel like everybody just has so much love for one another.
Yeah, it's family.
It's family. Yeah.
That's good. I'm sure that makes things a lot easier because I know there's been situations in which other people just feel like they're in competition with everybody else.
And it doesn't feel like that, to be honest. Like, I feel like for us, like, yeah, we are family, but we also want to see each other make it.
Yeah.
So we're very, like, supportive of one another.
You're on the same team.
Yeah, ultimately, yeah, we just want to see one another shine and just make it.
That's good. Have you, how far have you gone in, like, working the basis of the album? Like, have you started building on it, or is it still something that's kind of in the works?
Yeah, so I have a couple of songs recorded, maybe like a good like 5. We want to make it 10 songs.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see how much I end up having. But yeah, like recorded, done, probably 5, a good 5 now.
Are you gonna be working with other artists?
On the album?
Yeah, was it mainly just
I don't think so. I think it's just gonna be like a me thing.
Yeah.
But it would be cool actually to have like a few features on there.
Yeah. Is there any people that you have in mind that you would want to work with?
Oh, Bash, for sure.
Yeah, that would be
for sure.
The number one pick.
Yeah, number one. Also Frankie J.
Okay.
I think he's really dope too. And I've met him. We like work with him too, so that'd be dope. And who else? Probably Coda and Tara. The other two that are assigned to the label. I think doing a song with them would be cool too. Even though I have a song with Tara already, but
do some more for your own personal project.
Yeah.
Have you gotten? I know, like as soon as you got here, you kind of like immediately got connected with Danny and was able to work with them a lot. Have you had a chance to like kind of like work with a bunch of locals outside of the labal?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's been really awesome to be honest, because I feel like a lot of creatives are just really dope, right? So I like vibing out. I like having sessions, especially like creative ones where we could just like make magic. And I have been working with other producers on like just like fun things, like recording, writing.
Just trying things out.
Yeah, just trying things out and see where it goes, like I think that's the beauty of just creating stuff. It's like working with people of all different backgrounds. And, you know, I feel like we're all just so like in our element that we all just create something super dope.
Yeah, I've definitely learned that, especially in this city, it's like a very fast paced environment. So like you either kind of get it or you don't. Like, especially if you uprooted your life to come over here, it's like you got to be pretty serious about what you're doing, or else like, you're getting left behind.
Right.
Was that a difficult process or transition for you to be able to like make the decision to like kind of just move out here, essentially on your own, and just push forward like that?
It was difficult at first. I feel like I got very like homesick, and I was used to not living with my family though, because I did do like 4 years at Texas State. My family lived in Dallas. So I got a little taste of it then, but like being in a whole different state.
Yeah, it's different. You can't just drive down the...
Yeah, and then also like I was staying with my godparents, and honestly that was such a blessing because they let me stay there for like as long as I needed, basically, until I was able to get on my feet and have my own place. But yeah, it was really difficult. I miss my family a lot. Like, the people here are different. The food here is different. Everything's just so different.
Yeah, I don't have breakfast tacos. That's like that was a culture shock.
Well, like, we have like breakfast burritos. Which like I think, in my opinion, they're better.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I like burritos. I won't knock them, but still, like I want some breakfast tacos. I was like, can you put like eggs and bacon on a tortilla? Just like, just serve it to me. You know, I feel like it's such a like an unknown concept out here, but
yeah,
I think it's a South thing. Like, just
yeah,
Texas.
I think it's a South thing for sure.
Yeah, that definitely threw me off.
Yeah,
like, the tacos are good though. Like, we found this spot that was like they had $1 tacos, and I was like, okay, that's a little bit unheard of. Yeah,
where'd you go?
It was on the street. I don't remember what it was called, but Troy found it, and we went, and man, we got a bunch of tacos. I got a quesadilla, and that shit was good.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to send me the place, because
it's down the street, so maybe
$1
we'll go
tacos sounding really good right now.
I know. I was like, man, in comparison to something else, like, this may be an expensive city, but if you find the right things, like,
I
it's,
know.
man,
I'm
really
like,
good.
yeah, no, but yeah, it was really difficult at first. I feel like, but now it just feels like home. To be honest, I couldn't see myself moving back to Texas anytime soon. I think I'm in love with the city.
Yeah, it definitely is nice. It definitely is really nice. It'd be like like you said, a hard transition to make from Texas to Cali, but it is. You have the beaches, you have a lot of mountains out here. Like, it's very scenic, and that's something that I do definitely admire about this place.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I could live out here, because I don't know that I would make it. So props to you, because it seems like a very hard accomplishment to do.
Yeah.
What else do you have? Any other singles that are maybe coming out before you actually like start dropping on the album?
We haven't discussed any singles. I know that they do want me to release a single, but I don't know which one.
Okay.
It might be a cover.
Yeah. Is there any? Have you done any covers of like oldies?
Yeah, when I perform, I sing "At Last" a lot by Etta James.
Okay.
And then I have that one recorded too. But I haven't released anything like as far as like an older.
Yeah, whenever
cover.
you do the covers, you kind of like focus on like trying to like line up and like make it similar to the original song, or do you kind of just give your own spin on it? And just kinda...
I feel like I make it my own, because like the original is always going to be the OG, right? So it's like everyone has a different style of singing things, and I think that's the beauty of doing a cover, is like you can make it your own.
Yeah.
Still have some elements, where we can like pay homage to whoever sang it, but I think it's cool to put your own voice in it and have like your own twist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to perform with like mariachis and stuff like that? Because I feel like that would be like...
I did for a quinceañera, actually. Yeah.
How was that?
That was really cool. I've never had... It was like my first time, and I did Como la Flor by Selena with a mariachi. That was awesome. Really dope. Yeah. That was really dope. That was my first and only time that I have, though. But I think it'd be cool to do like other stuff with mariachis.
Yeah, for sure. Like doing music like that. Like you mentioned earlier, the classics that you listen to. Like, that's kind of feel like that's right up your alley.
Yeah. I love listening to it, to be honest. But yeah, I don't know. I don't work with mariachis too much. But I know that Danny wants us to start singing at his restaurants with mariachis. Okay. So we'll see if that happens.
You'll get some
soon.
more practice.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I know you were saying that like you want to kind of transition more into R&B because you have a love for it and appreciation for it. How do you feel about the current state of R&B right now, like just in today's music, because I know I've heard so many conversations about how it's not what it used to be. Nobody's singing anymore.
Right.
What's your take on that?
So not to name drop, but P. Diddy did say that R&B is dead, and I strongly disagree. I think that as times change, music changes, right? And so I feel like music and R&B specifically, there's like so many subgenres within it, and like newer artists like Summer Walker, right, or Brent Faiyaz, they're very different. They have like a different style.
It's definitely morphed into something else.
Yeah, it's very different from like 90s or 2000s R&B, but I love it. I love the new artists coming out and doing like their own thing, and I think it's dope.
Yeah, you might look down on me for this, but I didn't get into R&B till like maybe like 5 years ago.
Really?
Like it was always around me, and like when we were in middle school, like all the girls, they loved all the R&B and whatever. So like I always heard it, but it just never like caught my attention, or I just never gave it a time of day, But over the last few years, as I started kind of like listening to more and more on it, I think it was when I first heard Daniel Caesar, even though he's canceled now, probably.
Daniel Caesar? Oh, yeah.
He's the one that caught my attention. I was like, okay, like, they're actually, like, there's some singers out here, whatever. And then, like, you have Brent that came out with Sonder, Giveon. I was like, okay, like, there's a lot of good R&B that's coming out now. That's why it's always made me, like, confused when they say, oh, R&B's dead or nobody's singing anymore. Like, no, there's people that really still sing. It's just they either overhype the wrong artist or nobody gets the proper attention. But also, I don't know what podcast I was listening to, but they were talking about how like R&B, when it was like really at its prime, it was like immediately attached to hip hop. Everything was labeled as R&B and hip hop, like they were like inseparable.
Right.
But then when hip hop got a little too big, and it's like one of the most it's the popular genre now, I feel like kind of R&B just got left to the side, and people kind of started to forget about it, and they wouldn't invest in it so much now.
Right, but I feel like it's made such a big comeback, right?
Yeah,
with like
for sure. All the new artists that you mentioned.
Yeah, all the newer artists, and they're doing their thing, honestly. Like, I listen to R&B every day. Like, I'm a hardcore fan. Yeah. Like, we can talk about R&B all day, every day.
Who's your favorite artist right now, like, off the top of your head?
That's so hard.
I know.
That's so hard. I can't, like, there's just so many. But if I were to name one off the top of my head right now that I've been listening to a lot, is Brent Faiyaz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The last album he dropped, not the Sonder one, but the one that he did on his own, that was a dark album.
Yeah.
That was a very dark album. But I've always enjoyed Brent because, like, I think when I first started listening to him was whenever it was just Sonder. They were doing, like, the SoundCloud and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, like, not only does he have, like, a really good singing voice, but it's, like, he was singing like a different spin on like the whole toxic music, but on the like other side of it was like, I know I'm being toxic, but let me just sing you, distract you, just get you away from it. So let me just
sing it, like.
And then it goes a little too dark, and I'm like, damn, bro, like he knows his lane and he's in it,
Yeah,
so
no,
he goes with it all the way.
He's dope. And also, if you watch this, Brent Faiyaz, like, call me.
Yeah, give me a call back. I want to join the podcast, bro. So just help us both out. It's not two birds, one stone, Make it easier for everybody, because that would be ideal.
But yeah, no, I think he's dope. And I mean, there's just so many. There's also Summer Walker and Sabrina Claudio, even though she's canceled too.
Everybody's canceled.
But there's just like so many dope artists. Cali Uchis.
Oh, I love her.
She's awesome too. I love that she puts like her Spanish in it.
Yeah. She's killing it.
She's dope. Also, Mariah the Scientist. I don't know if you're familiar with her. No. Yeah, she's really cool too. There's just so many, to be honest. But
how do you feel about? I know because it's right now it's like the biggest genre. How do you feel about reggaeton? Like, are you big on it?
Oh yeah, I love reggaeton. Are you kidding me?
Have you ever thought about like doing any music with any reggaeton artists?
Actually, the song that I'm about to release with somebody is kind of like reggaeton, I would say. So that one is being released in like a couple of weeks, actually.
All right.
With this artist called Jay Reese.
All right.
And he asked me to be like featured on it, and I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Sounds exciting. Can you give the name of the song?
I don't know the name of the song yet.
Okay, but you already turned in your feature.
Yeah, but it's already recorded, and I need to ask him like what the official name of the song is. But
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear how that sounds.
Yeah, and I wrote a verse on it in Spanish, and I'm pretty proud.
Shit. Do you get to sing in Spanish often?
Just when I do shows.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then I like listen to music that I sing along to,
Yeah.
you know. But I haven't written any like Spanish songs,
Yeah.
but I do want to.
Yeah, that'll be definitely sounds like it'll be fun because you kind of give your own take on that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, nice. I'm excited for that single. I'm excited to see how
Yeah,
it sounds.
I'll
It
send
is
it to
like
ya.
the most popular genre right now. Like,
Oh my gosh, yeah, Karol G, Bad Bunny, like they're all popping.
They're
You know what I'm
going crazy.
saying? They're going crazy.
Yeah, so it's exciting to see the direction that it's taking because like not only because that they're the most popular genre, it starts to affect everybody. You know, sometimes they kind of categorize us in groups, even though we're not essentially the same. It shines more light on more artists like yourself and like platforms like ours, like people that are like Hispanic and are up that alley, you know. So it definitely has changed like the view on like artists like that.
For
and
sure.
It's been amazing to
Even
witness.
Rosalia, she considered reggaeton, would you say?
I think no, because
She's Spaniard.
yes, she's
Yeah.
Cambodian or something like that. Yeah, Spanish.
It's like different, right?
Yeah,
I guess it's not
very
considered reggaeton. Like
more singer,
electronic.
but I guess she does do kind of reggaeton songs, right?
Right, yeah. She has a few. I mean, she has one with J Balvin.
Yeah,
That's like a
that's
reggaeton
true,
one.
that's true. I used to, whenever she first came out, I was like super into her. I got to see her at a ACO Live.
Really?
And seeing her sing was amazing. Like you just like you could just tell like her whole emotion was into it. I was like staring at her eyes. She was about to cry, and I was like, she's really going all out.
I actually got to FaceTime her.
Really?
Yeah.
How was that?
That was super dope because Danny was on her music video.
Okay.
The one with The Weeknd.
Yeah.
La Fama. I don't know if you've heard it. But he's
The Weeknd.
La Fama.
Not.
Yeah, it's Rosalia and The Weeknd. And Danny's like a cameo in the music video. Yeah, and so when he was there, he was like FaceTiming me, and he was with Rosalia, and I was like, "Hi,
Just chilling with her.
Rosalia."
That's
I was
so cool.
like freaking out. I was like, "Wow, is this really happening right now?" And I was like, "My name is Amoraa. Like, I'm a huge fan." And she was really sweet.
Yeah.
She was really, really sweet.
Man,
But yeah, I got to sing for her too, and she was like, "Oh my
Really?
God, I really love your voice." Yeah.
Man, that definitely is a help then a lot because Danny is like everywhere with everybody. He does. I feel like he does everything.
He does everything.
I
He
don't know
was
how
in
he still
Star
does it.
Wars, The Minions, Dora the Explorer.
Doesn't
he
stop.
He was Rick and Morty. Like this man is literally everywhere. He does not stop. Like I can tell you right now, every day he's working.
Really?
He's working on something.
He's pretty up there in age too now, right? How old is he?
He's 78.
Oh shit! I would have never guessed that. You know,
Yeah.
like just as much as he works, and like I see him posting and stuff like that. Like everywhere, there's always Danny. Like and it's amazing, and it's really inspirational and motivational to see him still like back from where he started. You know, just still doing his damn thing.
He is,
So,
and he's
shout out
such a
Danny
great
Trejo,
guy.
man.
Yeah, shout out Danny Trejo. Y'all need to like catch up with him because he's doing a lot.
Yeah.
And let me just say right now, I know something that he worked on, and it's huge. So
Really? Oh,
y'all
man.
be on the lookout.
I'm excited. One of these days we'll run into Danny Trejo, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, I would love for you guys to meet him.
So aside from like music and stuff like that, I know you say you had a love for music, like you know, as a young kid, and when you were starting to fall in love with it. I like to ask my female guests that, like, because I was talking about it when I was with Angel, that I've had a lot more female guests or women guests on the show this season because I feel like it kind of goes as like women are overlooked in the industry, you know. But this year, just overall in general with the music industry, I feel like women have been getting more traction, more attention. And I like to be able to play a part and to show y'all, give y'all flowers and show you attention because you're very talented artists, like including yourself. But with that being said, what is something that you would tell your younger self to give yourself advice, or any little girl that's like looks at you or any singer and is like, I want to be a singer one day?
I would say, and thank you for that, I would say don't give up, be consistent, and don't let anybody tear you down because it really is just about going forward, right? It's like reaching the limit and just don't stop. Like there's going to be times where you just don't believe in yourself, but if you have a passion for something, just keep doing it. Keep doing it. You'll get there eventually.
Beautifully put. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And right before we wrap up, can you give the audience where to find your social media on all your names and all your platforms?
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram and Twitter under Amoraa J Official, and that's AMORAA J Official. And then on Facebook, I have a page under Amoraa. And on Spotify, I'm under Amoraa as well.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for joining us. As I did mention before we started, I like to end it on a positive note.
Yeah.
You did give just an amazing positive note right now, but do you have one in mind that you would like to start it off with?
What is something, I mean, like bouncing off of that, I would just say consistency is key, right? So it's like if you work on something, practice makes perfect. It's your craft. And at the end of the day, you just have to keep going. And you will see a difference. Maybe not a drastic difference day to day, but if you compare yourself from a year ago to like now and you work on something, you'll see a drastic difference. Yeah.
Okay.
So just keep going. The sky's the limit. Yeah, believe in yourself no matter what. Okay.
The number one rule.
Believe in yourself.
I appreciate that. That was beautifully put again. I don't know how to follow that up. So I think I just want to take a moment also just to, again, give thanks for you to be here and giving me this opportunity to sit down with you and having my chances of expanding out of Texas with little podcasts I like to do for fun. So I'm grateful for these opportunities. Thank you so much for sitting down. Hopefully we can continue to do, especially when you go touring in Texas. Like we can do a follow-up interview and
if Danny goes with us, I'll bring him with me.
Oh yeah, that'll be awesome.
That would be amazing.
Have a sit down and just shoot the shit.
Thank y'all so much for having. I don't know. That's perfect.
Yes, ma'am.
Shot glass.
A little gift that we were able to bring
a little gift
to
for
you
me.
For our
this is so cute. I love it. Thank
you.
Y'all so much.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
I am Mario from the South Side. This is I Don't Know That's Perfect, and I'm with
Amoraa J.
And we're out.